All right, guys, so let's continue. SportBiz Vilnius 2024, the largest sports business conference in the Baltic region. And up next, we have a very different session from the previous one. It's going to be a Q&A session, and we have a strong tandem here. It's going to be Gustavo, Arellano, Jorge from FIBA, and Edgaras Abromavičius from the Lithuanian Football Federation. And they will discuss and they will talk about expanding globally, innovating, and growth in esports. So please welcome them to the stage.
So, hello everybody. My name is Edgaras Abromavičius and my colleague Gustavo from FIBA. So, for the beginning, let's play the video and then we will start to talk.
4 seconds left in the shot clock. This right here is the FIBA World Finals. Vinjot Open, Sweden! We started out with 61 nations, and now we have the final 8.
A lot to play for here on day one.
There's alley-oop, baby!
This is literally insane.
Massive three!
George's shot right there as well.
To be honest, man, I think he wants his rematch.
We are witnessing greatness here, Vince.
Only 4 remain. The USA versus the Philippines, and then Turkey versus France. 50,000 euros on the line. This is the final day for FIBA Season 2 World Finals! 3-ball, corner pocket!
We are ready for everything.
That boy dive! And now they're getting loud! USA making you pay, baby!
They got no chance against us.
Going for the 3! And here comes the hero!
It is neck and neck.
They got it! It's the final game!
Big time shot there from USA.
Buy this man a new passport, because he's staying in France. USA Basketball is the FIBA Season 2 World Champion!
Very nice, very nice. And for the beginning, just want to mention that you can jump in whenever you want. My colleague will help you with microphone. So, Gustavo, amazing video, very interesting project, but why FIBA started to develop esports? What's the main reason?
Thank you for the invitation. And well, this is the first question that we got as an international federation normally when we present FIBA, and we have summarized the reason why in two main ones. The first one is that we realize that there is a new generation of people that is learning about the game in a different way. In the way that you engage with basketball, or I engage with basketball, was playing the game, was watching it on TV. But now there's way more people learning about the game through a console of a video game than either TV or playing the game. So for us was just a need to include these people as part of the FIBA family and serve them with competition. The second part is data. Now to make you a core fan of any sport, the esport component adds triple than what it was 10 years ago. So it's adding more to the component of why you will become a fan. So with these two reasons, we say we need to step into this world, which is not necessarily our main, from business point of view, is not our core business, but from our vision as International Basketball Federation, committed to develop the sport worldwide, we had to include this and we included finally as a third vertical. So we have 3 disciplines now. We have basketball, we have 3x3, and we have e-basketball.
Okay, and regarding to free-on-free basketball, maybe there is a possibility to do something on esports regarding to free-on-free basketball?
Not yet. 2K League tried with playing 3x3, and it was a bit more successful from the product point of view. But we are still working with that product before running or adding more. But what is very interesting about 3x3 is that their business model on how they grew as a property is a good template, a good blueprint for us to follow in order to not to necessarily copy paste what we have done for other competitions and use eFIBA in this case as a pilot, as a model where we can test new things and make things that we normally will not do.
And just, so what is the main product of eFIBA? What is the product?
eFIBA is a platform for competitions. So it's the international platform where teams, national federations, because our stakeholders are national federations. This is a product to serve national federations. It's give them a platform to compete. So what we do is we have an online season, which is starting normally, and that might change in the future, starting in October, just 1 month after the game is launched. Yeah. And we play until December in 2 different stages. We play at continental level or regional level based on servers and connectivity, and then an in-person final. What we saw in the video was our first in-person final in Sweden. Yeah. And this year we will do our FIBA finals in the Philippines.
So approximately how many national federations are playing in this tournament?
This is our biggest KPI. Up to date, we have managed to engage in the 6 events that we have done, around 80 national federations. This year, we confirmed 65 for the season. So we're very happy with it because this is the reason why we decided to go through it. When we started as a pilot, the first call, we got 17 federations. The second call, 35. The third call, 67. So it is an ongoing interest, and federations have recognized it as a new product within their already existing variety of products.
And in the video, we saw that last champions were from United States. All team was based, as I know, from NBA players, NBA 2K League players. So regarding to NBA, how do you manage to do this project and negotiate with NBA to let them to do this?
Okay, that's a more complex part of the project. It took us 2 years to frame an agreement because there are 4 parties participating. It's not only FIBA and the federations, which is our side. It's also the NBA, 2K as a publisher, and the 2K League. So this document finally was signed by 4 parties. Was very complex, and at the end what we understood and what we had to do for it was understand what is the value that we could add to them. And in our case was the international side. 2K as a product, NBA 2K as a product, the biggest consumption mass is in the US, so we could add an international component to it. And although they were looking to add more franchises from around the world, the national pride is something different. So we proposed that on the table, that our proposition is to build a product based on national pride, and they agreed that it was something that could complement their efforts. And so far the results is that every year we keep improving, not only in viewership, which is a tough space in the video game world, but also in the relationship that we have been building with national federations, esports associations, and also other stakeholders that help us to be where we are now.
Just in case to understand that, what is interesting in esports that you can to organize whenever you want official tournament based on NBA 2K or FIFA games and so on. You always have to have a contract with EA or 2K as a publisher, because usually when we want to organize, an example, basketball tournament, we just have to take basketball ball and to have team players and so on, and we can to do tournament. But in esports, we have to have contracts with publishers, then we can to do something. And it is very interesting point from you that you have to deal with 3 parties from your side: NBA 2K League, and then publisher. So it is very, very complicated, as I can see. And okay, one more interesting thing that this year, I don't know how many people now are familiar with new game. I saw that you have FIBA there as you're creating your My Player avatar. So now we can play against Spanish team and our teams, and then we can expect Lithuania in the game.
We hope to slowly increasing the amount of teams. This was a different project from eFIBA, because eFIBA we play in Pro AM 5v5. What we did for my career was a promotional tool based on the good relationship that we have built with 2K there was a conversation how we can showcase to the world that national team competition can happen inside the game, what we call so-called FIBA mode. And they say, let's test this year for a competition, whether in the My Career mode, you can access to the Under 19 World Cup. So we use all the visuals from our World Cup, and then we tested with 8 national teams. Hopefully, in the future, we increase the amount of teams and also the amount of competitions that we'll be showcasing. But at the moment, we're testing. So far, very successful, very good information. For us, a promotional tool. Now, people that's playing the game, they understand what those 4 letters mean, and not when they are just complaining about the referee in the future.
That is exactly. And one more question. Okay, we have eFIBA tournament. It is for national team. Okay, but how national teams can to select players? And one of most important question which I want to ask you. So, what about club competition? Of course, if you can't try and service, okay. But if we want to develop this kind of field of esports, it is grassroots clubs and national teams, but now we started from the top. So how we can get back?
Yeah, this is a good question, because we are, I will say, in the first stage of our journey, where we have demonstrated that the product is viable. When we demonstrate that there is an interest from many stakeholders, now we need to build that pyramid. Right now, our focus have been on how to establish a decent, I would say, an entertainment product on the top, which is what we call international competition. Now, with the IOC announcing the Olympic Esports Games, even we will be able to add to the story on the top. But now it's our role to look to how to build the story from the bottom. Right now, with the license that we have, it's not possible. Yeah. We need to keep working on how to expand the calendar, make sure that we can use a part of that time that we have as a window for federations to do their own competition, maybe in a club format, maybe in a tournament format, maybe on an invitational or open, still to be defined, but that it's something that it is in the process. It will take a bit more of time, but we're hoping that our end goal is that federation have their space to compete. So the story is that you start playing at your home, then when you start to do it competitively, you can do it at national level, then international level, and then even go to the Olympic Esports Games.
So it is not a secret that we didn't qualify for Olympic basketball tournament for a few times now. So I have to ask this question because you mentioned Olympic Games. So could we hope that we will have virtual basketball in Olympic Games of esports?
Maybe this was just announced, Olympic Esports Games. We are in conversations. There is an interest, but we need to align. It's still difficult to announce yet if it will happen. We already had an experience with the IOC. We were in Singapore when they did the virtual series there, what was the first physical event. We were there as a demo. We had 3 countries participating. The experience was very good. There is an intention, and hopefully we will work hard to be in the Olympic Esports Games as well.
Okay, and it is very interesting that we have United States here in this tournament, and as we have a dream team, in real basketball, we can say that you have esports dream team in eFIBA tournament. So can you tell more federations as an example, which are doing a great job in esports? Maybe Spain, France, or ours?
Yeah, there are few, and they have come together from different angles, which is the beauty of it. And also what we have found is a very collaborative environment. Although it is competitive and every nation wants to win, we have seen how federations support each other to create a competitive base or to scout the players. Well, I have to highlight first the Philippines, what they have done, and to put a competitive team, although they play with more challenging internet conditions to play online. It is what they have done is great. Their efforts pay out by becoming the 4th in the last competition. Yeah. So for the Philippines to perform at that level was great. I will say Turkey have dominated the European space. Why? Because they had a club that have support, that players play together. They have a playbook. They have translated a lot of good practices from real basketball to it, which is important to highlight here for the people who's not following FIBA, that is a simulation which is real to the sport because you play 5v5. Normally other simulations is either 1v1 or 2v2. Here is 5v5, which is the basketball IQ is important. Turkey have managed to to translate that. Of course, USA with the existence of NBA 2K League has a very strong team, but also Spain have done a very good work scouting and keeping a community engaged. Italy have done tournaments and engaging. Sweden, which is not recognized as a top nation for basketball, they have managed to integrate their esport initiative with the organization of their cup. So people is aware that if you play NBA 2K in Sweden, there is a route to become the national team. So that is what we highlight, and we have shared those practices with other federations, which are very relevant.
You know, you mentioned Turkish federation. I just want to mention that I had an opportunity to work with Fenerbahce Esports. So many of these players now are playing in FIBA tournament. So I just want to give an example, from Turkish experience, that they have Galatasaray, Beşiktaş. Maybe these are not official teams, but as you can see in the final result, they are one of the best team in the FIBA tournament. So maybe it could be just an example, for our countries to do some kind of amateur, not official tournaments, to develop this kind of initiatives, to have best teams now in FIBA tournaments in near future.
Yeah. I think France is also a very good example of how they have managed to recruit properly and push for competitions in order to find the best team possible. After the FIBA competition, one of the players was drafted in the 2K League, which was the bridge that we were looking. The level is there. The gap between USA and the rest of the countries is not that big as it was expected, because there is a lot of commitment from the countries to compete at the highest level.
And what kind of challenges can you see in the near future for this project? Maybe educational part for players, or the main thing is that contract with NBA 2K League and 2K. What could be the top 3 challenges?
No, there are a few. The first is the business setup of esports have evolved rapidly and quick with the ecosystem have changed. So the way of making this self-sustainable have evolved, and this is something that we need to catch up very quick. The presence of Saudi as the holder for the main competitions and changing the economy of the esports is very relevant. So we need to align with it. Then we'll say the second one is universality. We will need more girls playing the game. We have a lot of girls playing the game according to the statistics that we receive from 2K, but there is a reason we still don't know. They don't go competitive. They don't go and they don't compete on clubs, and the number that we have is after 6 years, after 6 events in 4 years, we have very little amount of girls. So it's a challenge for us because we want to use this as a platform that maintains a balance, and that it doesn't take us 100 years to come back to the idea that we need to also do this for people who love basketball, regardless of the gender. And a typical one for esports is that in some regions, the connectivity, internet, the access to the game and the access to the hardware and the access to the internet, that proper connectivity, which will allow you to qualify to a later stage, might be a challenge. It's not in our hands, but remains a challenge that we need to work on.
Okay, because I just want to share one of our experience, regarding to the girls audience. We had an opportunity to organize an official tournament for all the girls of football esports, and the main prize was the package to go to the FIFA headquarters, and to have a special camp of esports for 5 days. Everything was covered, and we had 2 participants. Yeah, we promoted everything, did everything what we could. We called every gamer who we know, but nobody came. Just 2 girls, and they just played finals, and one of the winners went to Switzerland. So okay, and one more question, regarding, we always talk now about 2K, and if you again can't answer this, it is good. But is it possible one day to see FIBA maybe a video game? It will be maybe much more simple than to talk with NBA all the times to develop any kind of project. Maybe FIBA basketball game or something like this can be in near future, or 5 years.
Well, we always say why not. It's something that It will be great to have a FIBA game, but we believe that we need to understand also our position in the market, and our position in the world of gaming is clearly not our business. FIBA business is different, and FIBA vision is different. But if there is an opportunity to explore that, why not, either with 2K or another? We remain. Our main goal is to develop basketball. So if there an opportunity comes, we won't say no, but we are not actively looking for it because we understand that now we need to go where the people is, and people is playing 2K. So this is our first version. Other games in the way, why not? But again, we understand that in the step of development that we are, there are few steps still that we need to go through to consolidate the product. So other projects like this might be a distraction at this moment.
Maybe there are questions from the audience.
We have questions. Good. Yes. Nice.
Just wait.
Can you wait
It's going.
Yeah,
a
Mike.
second? I will bring the mic.
Hello. As I understand, qualifications is happening online, yes?
Yes.
So my question would be, how would you manage the cheaters problem? Because as for my experience, 2K anti-cheat system is pretty weak.
Yeah, we have we receive support from 2K with the tools that they have. The advantage that we have now, which is very minimum, is that we are playing very close to the release of the new game. So there's not much time for the cheat codes to be created or installed, because that's the moment where the game is still renewing and fixing all the glitch. So normally, for what we understand is that this issue happens after January, after December, where the game is at its peak. Now, it doesn't mean that we will not change in the future our calendar, and we might need to face this in a different way. Up to now, we have 2-3 situations when it was pretty obvious, and we had in our regulations a way to ban this type of behavior. But so far, I have to tell you that our community have been very healthy, because they know each other, they understand each other very well, and when someone have come from outside with this type of behavior, the same community have taken out. So, not saying that it's solved, but so far it's not our main concern.
Hi. A quick question about the growth in esports in terms of economic growth. Part of the success has been the fact that most, if not all, esports competition are essentially free to watch for consumers at home. I mean, unless they go to the final event. But for those watching, essentially the broadcasting is for free. Do you think that this model has to change to go to the next step? And if it changes, how much will it impact the accessibility of esports for consumers?
No, I believe the opposite. Again, my opinion based on what I've seen, I think esports needs to remain free and accessible because it's the core and the nature of it. Now, we have seen some projects under the paywall which have been relatively successful. We believe that the business here, different from the typical sports, will come from the publishers. They are the owners of the game. They are the ones who control the economy of the games, and we need to understand that esports remains only the top of the pyramid for them. Their business is the base, is the people who pays to have the better avatar, is the people who pays the game. So as long as part of that is reinvested on the top, the esport part will continue growing. So it cannot be done without the publisher. It's the core of the economical bone from it. Then let's see if I was right or not when if we see paywalls in the future.
Hello, Ramunė Bistritskaitė, sports lawyer. I have 2 questions for you. First, have you had a match fixing cases? And the second,
sorry?
Have you had a match fixing cases? Okay. And the second one, disputes. Is it often thing in esports from according to your opinion? Thank you.
Okay, a match fixing, no. What we had, it's not no match fixing, definitely not yet. But what we had was this behavior of disconnecting, trying to curve the rule and then trying to repeat the game. And we have found with the support of 2K and Sony when it's on purpose and when it's not. So there is a gray line there. And but so far have been very specific cases, maybe 1 or 2 in 4 years. Regarding disputes, everything or our regulations are within the basketball, our legal team. And if there is a dispute with a federation, which we have only one, regarding a result and a behavior of a team, it will fall into our, we'll say our legal framework. It will go, if it did, in this case, did not reach BAT, which is our tribunal, but it was sorted at federation level with few letters. So it can happen. We have the tools and a team that is ready. If we have a dispute, it will have a legal team behind it. But to improve our ways to respond to it, we are updating every year of regulation. So we need to be very flexible on it because things change too quick on how the game is played and how the teams connect. Make sense? It's very clear, so no more questions.
If there is no more questions, so Gustavo, I think that I would like to say big thank you for coming here, for introducing us to the esports of basketball. Hope the best for you and for the project, and see you soon in next virtual tournament.
Thank you very much. Let's follow FIBA official. We will be in the Philippines this year, and hopefully the Lithuanian team do better than next year. Than last year.
I hope so
That's
too.
you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, so Gustavo, Arellano, Jorge, thank you very much for coming here to Lithuanian. Thank you, Edgaras, for asking those questions to FIBA person on esports.